let's get to the Rumble. Because the build up to this.
Well,
They were
this
like in a
is a
bunch of
part of
house.
it. This is play off the Rumble. This is teasing the Rumble because Terry Funk was supposedly supposed to be in it or something.
And
Like that's the whole
he was in
point
it.
of the face off between Terry Funk and Austin. Where he
Yeah.
just starts
But my
slapping.
point is, like, a lot of the Raws didn't. I thought they did more job to build up Sean and Sid than they really did with the Rumble. The Rumble kind of felt thrown away to me in this year.
Which is weird considering you had the Undertaker in it, which he actually isn't in that many Rumbles.
No, it's also interesting. What was it? The Live Wire where Vince Russo says they asked Vince Russo as Vic Venom character. They said, who do you think's going to win the Rumble? And he says Brett's going to win the Rumble. And Vince was pissed because Brett was supposed to win the Rumble. He didn't want him to say that. So that's one of the reasons why they changed it to Austin, because they didn't want anyone to know that Brett was going to win the Rumble, which is good. It gave Austin something cool to do.
Do you think the ingenious Vince Russo knew that was gonna happen?
I'm sure he did. That's Vince
So
Russo.
another reason why Vince Russo saved professional wrestling. Because if it wasn't for Vince Russo,
you say professional and he killed it.
Stone Cold wouldn't have won that Rumble. Who knows what could have happened?
If Vince Russo stayed in WWE and didn't leave, okay, yeah, I'll give him all the savior in the world. But he left and helped kill.
That's another way of saving, isn't it, Justin? You go to the other company and kill them. It saves the other company. No matter he helped WWF. And he killed WCW. I mean, that's a double-sided sword.
He helped us not have any competition for 20 years.
There you go. Exactly, because then he joined TNA and killed them.
What do you think of this?
Man,
we have to bring in the obligatory TNA reference somewhere.
If Tony
the TNA
Khan
reference must be brought in.
Oh,
all right, so let's get to the Rumble. We're getting a little long here. Let's get to let's talk about the Rumble.
Okay.
What do you think? I mean, this felt like the '98 Rumble as well, where it's just boring until I don't know.
I found the '98 Rumble way better than this one. For one,
this '97 Rumble was boring.
I
found it boring.
I don't think it's fair to compare this one to the '98. I thought the '98 was better.
Well, once Austin comes in, it's good.
Well, I think everything about that Rumble was better, including the lead up to it.
Well, I like that they gave The Rock. We're going to talk about this. So, Brett,
you're the one mentioning it.
I know, because I was going to mention it to the side. I didn't know we were going to.
I don't think it's
all right. So let's talk about. I just thought this was. Yeah, you mentioned that they were kind of. They bring in all this Mexican talent from from the AAA, and they don't really get a response.
Look, here's what we need to understand about the show in San Antonio. It's the most heavily papered event, I believe, in WWF history. Papering means that they basically gave half the tickets for free. Okay, you know that shit they used to criticize WCW for always doing? They were doing it. Okay, so even though that's like the biggest Rumble number or whatever the fuck, it's fake because half the people there went for free. That's another thing. So we understand that going in, that the fans there aren't fans that really care enough to pay. So, and they clearly didn't know any of the AAA talent outside of maybe Mil Mascara. And that was stupid because he didn't want to get eliminated by anyone. So he eliminated himself, which was idiotic.
Pisses me off. Why the fuck did they not do that glass break that they did at 13 more? That's such a cool fucking entrance.
Because of the arena. If you notice, they only did that They only did that in small hallway arenas like Madison Square Garden.
When you got to 18 and 17, I'm like, you guys have tons of money.
Yeah, but they have major stages, right? So
bring up a whole thing and just find something that'll break or something. Do something.
I agree, but that's definitely the thing I saw. They always did it in MSG because of the small hallway. And they did it in WrestleMania 13 because it was also a small
Like
little, you know.
stupid ass John Cena gets to drive a car through a fucking
Yeah, but the thing is that
window.
entrance had nothing to do with John Cena. You get what I'm saying? Like that gangster shit had nothing to do with John
No, I'm
Cena.
not talking about the gangster shit. I'm talking about the 27 when he fought Shawn Michaels. He comes through in his stupid car, this glass thing, and I was like,
Again, nothing to do with John Cena.
no, I know, but my point is, if you can make a glass thing, then make something fucking Austin can break through.
Well, maybe they didn't have the technology at the time.
No, I think Kevin Dunn's a moron. I think they're just stupid. I think they just
My favorite
creatively
entrance is SummerSlam '98.
That's a
You know,
cool
that's a
entrance.
very special pay-per-view for me. Like, fuck out of here. I'm an asshole because I'm an asshole. It's not because I'm a fucking cancer. Oh, fuck. I think for every story I've heard of him, every interview I've listened to him, and everything about what I infer that he seems like the kind of guy that leans on alcohol way more than cocaine.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say that.
So I feel that this might end up making him more dependent on cocaine. And I'm gonna tell you that from experience because I was very much alcoholic. You know, when we met,
Yeah,
I was
know,
a
you told
big
me.
alcoholic. You know, and then I went to coke.
Yeah.
Even though I was never obsessed with coke, you know, but I definitely leaned on coke to lean away from alcohol because to me, alcohol is more dangerous. I have less control.
Do you think so? But do you think you do think you have control with cocaine?
Well, yes, because I don't change. Like my personality doesn't change.
That's a good point.
If I'm broke, guess what? I don't buy shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't buy shit.
So it's okay. All right, I get it. I get that.
Like I used to do coke like every week. Now I only do it when somebody else buys it or if I go half. And this I've had for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Which to me is unheard of because I never last 3 weeks.
But that's good. You're learning balance.
It's not balance. It's just what you do, what your situation permits. You know,
one thing
if I
I gotta
had money, I'd be doing it every day.
One thing I got to say about Moxley talks about when he faced Triple H for the match or whatever.
Oh, but I will say this. Wait, but with alcohol, I have no control because I change.
Well, that's good that you know that.
Completely different person.
It's good that you know that. There's a lot of people can't handle that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm an aggressive drunk. I don't think I ever was.
No, you were never mean.
But I'm different. My rationale, my decision making changes dramatically.
Well, it's
I didn't like that.
That's what it's gonna do. Yeah, and that's good that you know that. Well, people don't.
With coke,
I gotta say
the
this.
only decision making it changes honestly is that instead of me sitting down, it makes me want to stay up longer. You know, like I'll get up longer. I want to be more active. You know, that's the only changes that coke does for me.
All right, dude. Let's talk a little bit about okay, so so Moxley talked about in his book. He talks about how that that house show thing they had on the network a while ago.
Don't I woo way better than Charlotte?
Of course, she sucks at that. That's
damn
sure. Woo! All right, but anyways, let me tell you. So he's talking about how when he had that match at like Roadblock or whatever it is, and
oh, you mean Roadblock, end of the line? You got to say the whole thing. Don't you know the rules?
I don't give a shit about it. This isn't on the show. So Moxley talks about how he would avoid him. So he's like, I want to call it in the ring. I don't want to come up with these spots or whatever. And he sits down there with Triple H and they're like not saying anything. And, Triple H is like, what do you want to do? And he goes, like he's playing the mind. He talks about how he's playing the mind game with Triple H.
That was a great match.
It was a good match. He talks about how, he's like, I want to, just this. He was kind of pissed because they had that 3-way with Brock and Roman and him. And when he gets back from the curtain, they tell him, that could have been the main event at WrestleMania. So he's kind of like, I think deep down inside, he knows Brock is going to just fuck him over. But he's talking about how, basically Vince gave Triple H the edict. He says, I don't care how you do it. Just, I want you to go over. So they could plan wherever they wanted, and he's just kind of playing the mind game with them. I thought that was kind of cool that he knows the old school way of doing things. He's like, I want to call him in the ring. I don't want to come up with a bunch of planned shit.
Everything about Moxley is old school.
He really is.
You could tell. Like, I remember when they did like that gimmick with Jake the Snake, and the snake is on his face, and you could see the smile as the show ends, and it's like, that's a fan. You could tell that's just a fan. But like,
but Rollins
not in a Mark way.
But Rollins is a fan, but he's a fan in a Mark way.
No, I think Rollins is a mark for the company. I think Moxley is a mark for wrestling.
Yeah.
Overall.
That's a good point.
There's a difference. I think that Rollins has been, hey, look, let's be honest. You come from ROH. Triple H takes a personal interest. I would imagine Triple H takes him, join us for Thanksgiving or something. He starts to feel part of the family. He takes it personal when people talk about WWE.
Well, he talks about when they're about to go out, and Triple H is talking to the Sheets. He's like, I want to do a paradigm shift. He's like, do you know what that means? And Moxley gets pissed. He's like, what? You don't think we know what words mean?
Oh, man.
I love it. Like he had balls even then. There's a reason they didn't trust him. They're like, well, we can't control him. We can control Roman and Rollins. We can't control this son of a bitch.
I mean, I don't think they can control Roman either. I think
no, now they can't. But back then they were, he was very much like happy to be here. Now he's like, fuck you and do whatever I want. Find another guy that can replace me.
That's how you're supposed to act.
Yeah, but that's not how that company treats it. That's not how Rollins acted. Like, he acted like a little pussy. Like, I'm the company boy.
Maybe that's just how he is. Like,
yeah, well, it's not top guy then. It's fucking jobber shit. If you can't tell the people who are going to screw you, or
there
who
can
don't
only be one.
Yeah, they really can.
Okay, we know who that one is. It ain't Rollins.
Thank you for watching the Kings Road podcast. You can subscribe here.
To get the latest clips and news on the show, or like us on Facebook.com/Kings Road Podcast, or email us at podcastkingsroad@gmail.com.
Also, check out our Instagram at Kings_Road_podcast, and our Twitter at the KRP Podcast. Thank you.